Okay, this is Chapter 13, Section 2, Biological Needs, Focus on Hunger. Biological needs are based mainly on body tissue needs, such as the need for food, water, air temperature, regulation, and pain avoidance. However, the basic biological need can be complex because they involve psychological as well as physiological factors. People need food to survive, but food can mean much more than mere survival. Food can be a symbol of the closeness of the family or group of friends. It can also be something to make a stranger feel welcome. Food can be a part of a pleasurable social experience with others. Hunger is regulated by both biological and physiological factors. The acts of chewing and swallowing provide certain sensations that help satisfy the hunger drive. Chewing and swallowing apparently help reduce feeling of hunger in animals as well as people. The hunger drive is usually satisfied when the body digests food and the nutrients in the food enter the bloodstream. However, this takes time. Chewing and swallowing help the body know that its hunger drive is being satisfied, thus saving us from eating more than is needed. Still, it is wise to stop eating before feeling completely full because it takes time for the digestive tract to metabolize food to provide signals to the brain that we need food in order to be satisfied. It was once believed that the growls and contractions, called hunger pains, of an empty stomach were the cause of hunger. Researchers did, in fact, find that when a person is hungry, his or her stomach does contract. However, they also found that the stomach contracts at other times as well. Furthermore, people who have surgery to remove their stomachs will experience hunger. The whole stomach does not get removed. It's called a gastric bypass surgery. It's just a part of the stomach that is removed. Really obese people, someone who's like 400 to 600 pounds, have this procedure done in order for them to stop eating as much. Thus, the researchers concluded that hunger pains felt in the stomach play a role in hunger but are not the main factor involved in signaling hunger. The level of sugar in the blood and the part of the brain known as the hypothalamus are key influences on feelings of hunger. When people have not eaten for a while, their blood sugar level drops. Information about the sugar level is then communicated to the hypothalamus, which is known to be involved in the regulation of body temperature and various aspects of psychological motivation and emotion. Researchers have learned more about the hypothalamus functions through research on laboratory animals. In these studies, researchers implanted electrodes on the hypothalami and observed the effects on the animal's behavior. They then found that the side of the hypothalamus called the LH, the lateral hypothalamus, appears to function as a start eating center. If the LH is electronically stimulated, the rat will begin to eat, even if it just finished eating a large meal. That is odd. It's a messed up study as well. The underside of the hypothalamus is called the VMH. And this function apparently means the stop eating center. Many biological factors affect the hunger drive. However, this is only part of the story. In human beings, psychological as well as biological factors affect feelings of hunger. For example, we usually eat more when we are in the presence of people than we are to eat when we are alone. You may not realize you are hungry until a friend mentions that he or she is hungry. Your friend, therefore, would have acted as a psychological influence to your hunger drive. Don't let your friends make you eat if you're not hungry. Learning that certain amounts of food or drink will produce a feeling of well-being and relaxation can cause people to eat and drink when they feel upset. For example, they may develop the habit of eating and drinking at the first sign of pressure or anxiety. As a way to fend off feeling any negative emotion. People with a tendency to eat um, compulsively or drink alcohol excessively need to be alert to this tendency. Likewise, parents should consider whether it is wise to give their children food as a reward for doing something good. Rewarding with food can cause a child to grow up associating food with parental approval, perhaps leading to a dietary problem later in life. All segments of the US population have gained weight compared to previous generations. Compared to their peers in the early 1970s, about 4 times as many children and 3 times as many teenagers are overweight. However, fewer children and teenagers have weight problems than adults. As metabolism slows with age, people often fail to adjust to the amount of types of food they eat, also known as your diet. More than 6 out of 10 Americans are overweight. Moreover, 3 in 10 are obese. That is weight. They weigh more than 30% greater than their recommended weight. That's what obese means. It means that you were 30% greater than your recommended weight. Problems with unhealthy weight gain are on the rise in the US. For example, in the early 1960s, about 45% of Americans were overweight. By the early 2000s, that figure had risen to about 66%. Obese people suffer more illnesses than others, including heart disease, stroke, diabetes, gallbladder disease, respiratory problems, and certain kinds of cancer. It has been estimated over 110,000 people in the United States die each year because of health problems related to excess weight and inactivity. So get out there and start working out, people. Obese people often regain the weight they have lost after dieting successfully. Why are so many people obese? As with the hunger drive in general, both biological and psychological factors appear to contribute to obesity. Obesity seems to run in families, but it does not mean it is inherited. Obese parents may be simply encouraging their children to overeat by having fattening foods around the house and by setting the example themselves. One study showed that adopted children tend to closely resemble their biological parents rather than their adoptive parents in terms of body weight. Men tend to have more muscle and less fat in their bodies than women. The average man is approximately 40% muscle and 15% fat. The average woman is 30 to 35% muscle and 25% fat. Therefore, men tend to burn more calories more quickly than women of the same weight. For this reason, men generally are able to lose weight more easily than women, and they can usually eat more than women can without putting on extra pounds. Psychological factors also play a role in obesity. For example, people tend to eat more when they are under stress or experiencing certain negative emotions, such as anxiety. So if you're nervous, ironically, the stress of trying to diet can make some people want to eat even more. Personal circumstances also affect people's ability to control their weight. For example, many people tend to overeat and ignore their diets when they are attending family gatherings, watching television, or experiencing tension at school, home, or work. Psychologists have worked with other professionals to devise strategies to help overweight people lose weight. Some of these strategies appear in the multitude of books on losing weight. Others have been adopted by business that operate weight loss programs or meal services. Not everyone who is a few pounds overweight should try to slim down. For example, women in the United States today are often under social pressure to conform to an unnatural, slender, feminine ideal. As a result, they tend to set unrealistic weight loss goals. Social media plays a huge part in this today as well. Any teenager who considers going on a diet should proceed with caution because adolescents need a good deal of nourishment Perhaps more than any other age group, adolescents should discuss the benefits and hazards of dieting with their parents or other health professionals, such as a doctor or school nurse. A sound diet is one that is sensible, realistic, and well planned. Healthful weight control programs do not involve fad diets such as fasting, eliminating carbohydrates, or eating excessive amounts of one particular food. Instead, they involve changes in lifestyle that include improving nutritional knowledge, decreasing caloric intake, exercising, and sustaining healthy and substituting healthy foods for harmful foods. Substitute those harmful foods, ladies and gentlemen. Eat a banana. Eat something healthy. Don't eat those M&Ms. Put the M&Ms down. Pick up that apple. Go ahead and eat it. Most people in the United States eat too much fat and not enough fruits and vegetables. Junk foods like French fries, hamburgers, donuts, and candy tend to be particularly high in fat. Eating foods that are low in fat sets a good precedent for a lifetime of healthy eating. It is good for the heart and can also help with losing weight. You might have even more energy. You won't sleep as much. Losing weight means burning or using more calories than you eat. Foods that are high in fat also tend to be high in calories. Nutritional knowledge helps people manage their consumption of food to take in fewer calories. Taking in fewer calories does not just mean eating smaller portions. It means switching to lower calorie foods. Rely on more food that is fresh, unsweetened fruits and vegetables. Eating apples rather than that apple pie, that delicious apple pie, fish or poultry or skim milk or cheese. These are all good options. It means cutting down on butter, margarine, oils, and sugar. Just don't eat sugar. Watch your sugar intake. If you're drinking a soda, that's too much sugar for the day. That thing has like 40 grams of sugar. Put the soda down and pick up a seltzer water. Seltzer water is delicious, and it's got 0 sugar in it. The same foods that help control weight, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, also tend to be high in vitamins and fiber and low in fats. Such foods may also reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and other illnesses. Dieting plus exercise is more effective than dieting alone for shedding pounds and keeping them off. Exercise burns calories and builds muscle tissue, which metabolizes more calories than fatty tissue does. Keeping off the weight, many people who lose weight struggle not to regain the weight. Some studies suggest that the majority of dieters regain the weight they lose within 5 years. Maintaining a new, more healthy weight requires ongoing work. Psychologists found several key similarities in people who succeed in losing weight and not regaining it before losing the weight. Most lack confidence, but also lacked awareness of bad healthy habits. Deciding to lose weight and adopting a new, more healthy behavior gave these people a boost of self-confidence. Support from family and friends helped them ingrain the new habits as well as bounce back from periods of failure. Most importantly, the people who succeed in keeping the pounds from coming back recognize that they are not just going on a one-time diet. They adopted a new lifelong approach to eating and exercising. All right, that's your lesson for today. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, well, go back and rewatch the video. Peace out.